One of the really appealing aspects of an adventure cruise in PNG is the variety of activities. I remember the day we arrived at Tufi in particular. The agenda included cultural events, fishing, jungle walks, scenic flights to the Kokoda Trail and scuba diving. Have I mentioned that PNG is the most revered diving destination in the world? It wasn't going to be easy to do everything, but we're going to give it a good try.
The True North carries 6 dedicated expedition boats. The boats allow guests to experience wilderness in small groups, and the luxury of multiple boats also provides greater opportunity for guests to do what they want, when they want.
This morning we were treated to our first Sing Sing, the traditional PNG welcome. There are more than 800 different languages in PNG, each representing a slightly different culture. Consequently, every Sing Sing is unique. They can feature elaborate headdress, South Pacific melodies and enthusiastic dancing, but I was starting to realise that there was always one common ingredient. These guys were into it. The overwhelming hospitality of the PNG people needs to be experienced to be believed.
But things have not always been hospitable in PNG. During the Second World War, the country was invaded by the Imperial Japanese Army. Much of New Guinea was under the control of the Japanese when they encountered Australian troops on the Kokoda Trail. Aided by local villagers, the Australians displayed courage and endurance in the face of far superior numbers, and eventually halted the Japanese advance.
I knew this would be big. There wouldn't be too many Aussies who are not familiar with the sacrifices that were made on Kokoda, and it's now quite common for Australians to make a pilgrimage to the trail. I've even thought that I might do it myself one day, but I never imagined that I would travel there in an air-conditioned helicopter. As with most things in PNG, no one knew quite what to expect, but there is no doubting the reverence that was attached to this one. Then there's the scenery on the way there. It was some of the best I have ever seen. Fjords created by lava flow, lone hilltop huts sieged by jungle, and grassy hills that somehow held the jungle at bay. There were tiny coastal villages with the compulsory band of enthusiastic wavers, meandering creeks and raging torrents, and the ever-present canopy of jungle. And then, there it was, the Kokoda Memorial. It was on a ridge with commanding views of the valley below. Both sides would have been keen on this spot, and the place was immaculate. Everything was treated with such respect. While I was there, I met the guy that organised the memorial. His father fought with the Aussies, and there were others who also told of family involvement in the fighting. It was a very moving experience. This is one heli flight you won't want to miss.
After exploring the north coast of Papua New Guinea's main island, the True North shifts to the south coast of New Britain. As is usual with all North Star cruises, travel is mostly completed during the night, allowing maximum daytime opportunity to experience the destination.
If you think the main island is pretty specky, wait till you see New Britain. No wonder the locals here seemed even happier to see us. Apparently they hadn't seen a cruise ship since the 70s. The local administrator told us, you can go wherever you want and do whatever you want. You are most welcome in our village. So we did. We spent the whole day exploring the area, and we found some awesome spots. There was a grotto where fresh water pounded out of a rock face onto the beach. Amazing hot springs in the jungle. And the bass fishermen had some success as well.
Pound for pound, Papua New Guinea's black bass is considered to be one of the hardest fighting fish in the world. Capturing one of these black beauties is often a pinnacle achievement for the most ardent sports fisher. Rivers that snake through otherwise impenetrable jungle also produce Saratoga, mangrove jack and the old foe, barramundi. While offshore anglers encounter mackerel, yellowfin and mahi-mahi. Fishing is always on the True North schedule, and all the necessary equipment is available on board. The ship's guides are happy to make arrangements for the beginner and expert alike.
The next day we woke to find the ship amidst the Duke of York's. Now the vista had changed to postcard islands, swamped in coconut palms, and skirted by irresistible swimming beaches. Flying over an active volcano was another cruise highlight. The devastation caused by a 1994 eruption was still very evident in the now largely abandoned city of Rabaul, once one of the most beautiful cities in the South Pacific. There were also opportunities to visit the Australian War Memorial, another humbling experience.
From the Duke of York's, the True North cruises along the west coast of New Ireland to Kavieng. Here, the cruising segment of the northbound itinerary concludes, and guests rejoin North Star's chartered aircraft, but not before sampling the delights of an area that was once described by invading Japanese armies as a place as beautiful as heaven.
For me, the many islands around Kavieng were the cruise highlight. When we went ashore, every man, woman and child turned out to welcome us. The sing-sings were special here too. The kids did most of the singing, and some of our passengers were even moved to tears. What an idyllic existence these people have. And what a place for diving and snorkeling. It was here that we found planes, submarines and even tanks in shallow, clear water. There must have been some pretty nasty fighting here.
One of the unique aspects of North Star's Adventures in Paradise itinerary is an overnight stay at the Madang Beach Resort. Suites overlooking the Bismarck Sea provide a comfortable staging point for one of Papua New Guinea's rarely visited regions, the Highlands.
Just because you're getting off the ship, there's no need to think that the adventure is over. Landing in the highland town of Goroka was a blast. Not too many tourists come this way, and the opportunity to see the famed mudmen is another highlight. You just have to see these guys in their bizarre costumes. They look more like aliens from another planet. It's easy to see how they managed to scare off their enemies. The highland country is also renowned for cultural artefacts, baskets, paintings and wood carvings, all at very reasonable prices. What a great way to finish the best holiday I have ever had.
Whatever your interest, this one's got the lot. Culture, snorkeling, fishing, diving, pristine beaches, exploring, volcanoes, unique wildlife, historic places, and some of the most genuine hospitality that you will ever encounter. And then, each night, return to the comfort and security of your luxury floating hotel, the True North. Contact your preferred travel representative or North Star Cruises Direct to arrange your very own Adventure in Paradise.